welcome to my FlossTube. This is Nancy, Bohemian Stitchery, and this is part 3 of a 4-part WIP Parade. Sorry I didn't get to record this last week. I was running. I did run a race last week. Was very proud of myself. It was a 12-hour overnight endurance race. So basically just run as far as you can in 12 hours around a 5.3 kilometre loop. And I ran over 100 kilometres. I came first woman and I was this close to coming first overall, but not quite. So it was really good. It's taken me a good week to catch up on sleep. But yeah, it was a really good race. I really enjoyed myself. Anyway, you're not here to hear about running, you're here to hear about cross stitch. So I will get on to part 3. I have a pile, literally, of stuff here in no particular order. Can't remember what letter we got up to last time. Probably about M. No, L. I think we were still at L. So because I think I've still got some L's here. Now, my piles are out of order, so please don't get upset the fact these are not in exact alphabetical order, but they are kind of around the alphabet. So we'll just get on with it, shall we? Okay, so let me get my laptop up so I know number of stitches that I've done, and we'll go for the very first one, which is, let me see if I can open it up and show you a picture. This was an adopted WIP that I can't remember who I got it from, but it was partly done. It's a dimensions chart, charts and charms. It's called So Cozy. I'm sure lots of people have seen this one before. Lots of back stitch. So when I got it, it was partly done. It was on this lovely frame, which frankly I actually don't like that much, but never mind, I've just left it there. That is where we're at with it. So we're quite a long way. I know I did quite a lot of the back stitch, etc. around here. I can actually see from the back here, no disrespect to the lady I bought it off, but my back is slightly more tidy than hers. Not that I really care that much. I have a feeling this one received 0 stitches in 2025. Let me just double check. Correct. Nothing. Haven't picked this one up for over 12 months. So that's where it's at. I'm pretty sure it's all the kit stuff. You can actually see the dirt on the fabric there. It's going to need a jolly good wash. I'm pretty sure last time I showed you this, I said exactly the same thing. That's going to need a jolly good wash at some point. So, okay, so that's So Cozy. It's had no love whatsoever. I'm just going to, sorry about me leaning up and down, but I've just kind of got to throw it over there so that I can put it on the floor and it's not going to fall everywhere. Okay, right. So next one is a sampler. It's by Jane Greenough. It's called the Silverwood Sampler. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. If it looks huge, you are absolutely correct. It is huge. Silverwood Sampler got 0 stitches in 2025. It's a full kit. It's got all the stuff, threads, lots of specialty stitches, as most of Jane Greenough's kits do. That's about as far as I've got, which is not very far. As you can see, the linen is it's pretty long. It's a pretty big sampler, that one. And as we all know, I'm not a big fan of samplers anymore. However, what I am is pig-headed, and I don't like leaving a project unfinished, or at least unworked on. Everything's going to be unfinished in my lifetime, but I'm not a big fan of UFOing. Like, if I absolutely loathe something, I'll UFO it, but I don't really like doing it. So I just kind of pick it up and go, yeah, I'll do it at some point. All right, next one is by 2x2 on Etsy. I cannot remember the number. All of these samplers have got numbers. I think it's like 85 or something. Anyway, that's what it sort of will look like. I am not doing this colorway. I am doing it on black using 746 as my main color. Oops, and the highlight is in 733. So, oh, there's another needle. Haha, that's always fun to find. Right, this is where I'm at. I'm doing it on a 16 or is it an 18 count black Ada? I think it's 18 count. I love how this looks. I don't know whether that's upside down. I actually think it is. I think it's that way. I think it kind of doesn't matter because I think it's the same anyway. Looks so good on the black. Yeah, that one's a really good one just to like take with you because you only need a couple of colors. You know, as long as you remember to bring your tablet. I have done that before. I've taken it with me and not taken my tablet. But yeah, that's I really like the way that shows out. I think I'm pretty sure I told you this before. I saw this colorway on Facebook. And that was where I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. I love it. So I went and bought it straight away and kind of matched the colors as best as I could. Sampler 2x2. It only got 242 stitches in 2025. That's not a lot. For a total of 2,209 stitches on that one so far. Okay, so that one's good. I have got a few 2x2s. I do like 2x2s. I do like them very much. I think I've got 4 started now. With probably about another 3 lined up, maybe 4 lined up, ready to start. Okay, you notice I'm doing S. It's because my piles just didn't quite work out. So, right, this one I started last year. It's called, oddly, Simply Fantastic. It's a old Dimensions kit. God knows what it has to do with Simply Fantastic because it's cats. It was a start at our Easter Start Fest in 2025. And if I remember rightly, I've started with the wrong colour. I did 200 stitches. So that's where I'm at. Yeah. And I have a feeling I'm going to have to frog the lot because I think I used the wrong shade of purple for it. So I think it's going to have to be a restart. It's not very big. Only a little one. Doop, that big. Very effective on the black, although these little bits in the background are going to be very annoying to stitch. Never mind. Okay, so that's Simply Fantastic. 200 stitches, not a lot, all of which are going to have to be frogged, and we'll start all over again. Right, next one. This one is a Long Dog sampler. It got, I know this for a fact, got nothing in 2025. It's called Spirit of Marken. I think one of the reasons is I have only got the paper version of this. I don't have it on Pattern Keeper. That's what it will look like when it's done. I am doing it 1/1 on a, let's get the linen out and I'll be able to tell you, or is it 1/2? No, it's 1/2 and it looks like it's like either a 36 or a 40. I think it's a 36 count. I'm doing it in purple, a purple silk. That's where I'm at. So it looks good. Again, very simple because I'm only using one color, but the linen is really quite fine and so it's quite hard for me to see. But I should get onto that. I should do some more of that. You know, these single monochromatic or minimal color palette ones, they're good to do like when you're in front of the TV or something. You don't have to think too hard. So that's why I like the 2x2s, but sorry. That's Long Dogs are good for that as well. So, okay, next one. Let's open my laptop up. This one is called The Kiss. It is a famous painting, by Klimt. It comes from an old Jill Oxton's Cross Stitch and Beading magazine. That's what it looks like, or that's what it will look like when it's done. Oh, you can actually see it better on the back. There we go. It's only really small. I'm doing it on a 14 count Aida. It got 200 stitches. You can see how small it is. That's it. That's how big it's going to be. That's where I'm at. You can see her face already coming out. So again, sorry about all the creases. I don't iron anything. I don't iron clothes. I'm not going to iron cross stitch, am I? Yeah, so that's where we're at. There's quite a lot of gold in it. Gold metallic, and we all know how much we love stitching with gold metallic. It's our favourite, isn't it? It's just like Krynic, stitching Krynic on a Heaven and Earth. Don't we just love that? Nope. Okay, so that's The Kiss. Oh, hang on, let me just pop that back where it belongs. All right, next one. Oh, hang on, let's see what I'm going to do. I'm going to move, I'm going to move these over here, go over here, because I know these are my L's. So that pile gets us back in order. So there were a few sort of random S's in there, but that's okay. Right, this one is called Lady of Sunset. I still have a terrible printout of this. This was one of the very first Etsy charts I ever bought. And it was before Carla and I became really, really, really good friends. I remember watching her FlossTube and seeing her wall of women and going, oh, that's a great idea. And I got onto Etsy. I was like, I want to do a wall of women as well. And this was the very first one I found. I don't think whoever made this chart is still in existence. They were not a cross-stitch designer. They were actually a print maker, and they just had a few of their prints which they did as cross stitches. The pattern does not go into Pattern Keeper, so it's awkward, but never mind. I am doing it on an 18 count Aida. That is where I'm at. Lady of Sunset. I really would really love this one. So she got, let me have a look. Let's go back up to here we are. She got 200 stitches in 2025 for a total of 3,128 stitches. It's looking good on an 18. It's always amazing. Like 18 actually is quite a nice count for full coverage. So there you go. I have changed tablets, so I'm not going to be able to get it into Pattern Keep because I know it doesn't go in. It doesn't recognise any of the symbols. So I'll try and pop it back into Markup XP because my new tablet has got a lot more memory. So Markup XP might actually run, whereas the old tablet I had, it basically Markup XP just made the tablet go, and it'd sort of like, and then it just wouldn't save, and you know, it was clearly way too like memory heavy for the tablet to cope with. So I haven't done it yet. I'll give it a try, and that just goes to show I haven't picked this up for a while. So there we go. Lady of Sunset. I am here. Yeah, I keep doing this. I'm not gonna, it's because I have to keep leaning down here. All right, next one. Let's get a couple here. So the next one is a Carolyn Manning. It's called Over the Rainbow. It's from her Jane's Joy series. So pretty. Oh, Over the Rainbow. Got zero in 2025. Well, that's a bit lousy, isn't it? It's such a great chart. And I'm doing it on a random piece of pewter, 28 count Lagana. Oh, there's a little magnet on there as well. How exciting. Because the back isn't entirely stitched. It's not a complete full coverage, this one. So the pewter is good because the black actually shows out. So that's where I'm at. So far, it's got 812 stitches. It needs more. It really needs more. So it's over the rainbow. Such amazing colours in that one. Oh, I might have to go and blow my nose. Oh, well, I know it's the usual FlossTube itchy nose, but right, that's that one. Throw that over there. Okay, while we're talking about Carolyn Manning, this is another one called Opal. I'm starting with the big one. I'll do all the little ones later because I'm going to live until I'm about 293 years old. So I'll have plenty of time. I'm doing this on an 18 count black Ada. Opal was a new start in 2025 and got just over 1,000 stitches. Check me out. Look at that. That's where I'm at. Looks great on the black. Ooh, that looks good. There we go. Not that you'll ever be able to see it because Carolyn Manning is full coverage, but it still looks great. Okay, so that's Opal. 1,016 stitches that got. That's a pretty decent start, let me say. Love my Carolyn Manning. Thank you, Carla. All right, let's throw that one over there. Right, next one while we're into the O's. This one is the very first Heaven and Earth designs that I ever did. It's called Old World Map. So let's try not to get the shine. A lot of people will know this one. Old World Map got, what is it? 450 by 376. It got 0 stitches in 2025. Woohoo! I'm currently sitting at 4,972 stitches on this baby. I have picked it up. I wonder when I picked it up. It must have been early this year. Can't remember. And did a few stitches because I thought, oh, I've got to sew in all of these part stitches because they're driving me nuts. So that's where I'm at. As you can see, I've kind of, this is the first page and I did parking and then I had to go on the next page with doing cross country by page. And now I want to go back and get rid of all those park stitches because they drive me insane. I'm doing it on a 25, maybe a 28 count. I don't know, I can't work it out. Lagana. So that's that one. Has not had very much love. It's feeling very rejected, that one. Poor Old World Map. Okay. It's not you. Don't go to sleep. Don't go to sleep. Right, I'm gonna chuck. Sorry if this goes crash. Right, next one. Okay, this was a new start in 2025. I started it because me and my myth group, we do, most of us, Hade Mania. So Hade Mania, as we all know what mania is, you know, start, you know, a project a day or whatever during May. Well, Hade Mania is start a Heaven and Earth design every day or every 2 days during May. We're doing it again this year. I have so many lists lined up ready to start. So this was started during Hade Mania 2025. It's called Phoenix Rising. I love it, love it, love it. It's by Linda Ravenscroft. I have it on paper, and because I have it on paper, I have started doing it like block by block, but I'm doing it with a sawtooth so I don't end up with tram lines. I've only done 300 stitches. Lots and lots of oranges. It's been done on my favorite 22 count linen, which I had a small piece left, which was not going to fit very much, but and that's why there's not a huge amount of margin at the end, but it will fit Phoenix Rising. So it was one of those, I love it when you've got fabric in your stash and you're looking for something and it's just the right size. You know, I can get away with, that's what, 2.5 centimeters. Fabric chicken. I just play fabric chicken all the time. It's fun. So that's Phoenix Rising. That one's definitely still available on the website. Next one is called Pastel Heart. Oh, yes, this was a, where is it? It's got to be in here somewhere. Oh, yeah, there it is. It's actually a printed, like, it's one of these ones where you get from, you know, the kids at school get like book club or something and you can buy craft kits. Well, this is one that my daughter wanted. This is a long time ago. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's quite pretty. And then we got it and she wasn't really that like blown away by it. So I was like, oh, well, I'll keep it. I'll give it a go. Unfortunately, the printing is really poor. So I'm not following the print. I'm following the chart, which is a little hard because it doesn't quite marry up with the print. It's a 16 count, which is pretty tough for kids, but that's okay. Pastel Heart, I did 101 stitches. So you can see at the top there where I'm stitched. You know, you see it better on the back, but it doesn't actually match the print particularly well. So luckily there is a chart to go with it. So yeah, I'm just using all the kit stuff. It had a hoop with it. I'm not a big fan of hoops, but it's fine. Okay, so yes, so that's Patchwork Heart. Next one. Oh, I love this one. I love this one. This one, talking of stamped kits, now this is an example of a very good stamped kit because this one is from the Stamped Stitch Club. It is called, I love this one, Pricks Everywhere. There we go. My non-stitching bestie, my running bestie, or my bestie here, she is the cactus whisperer. Like, she grows the most incredible cacti and they flower and everything. She talks to them like she's a bit, I say she's a bit crazy. Like, here am I sitting here with 200 WIPs. What am I talking about crazy? But anyway, as soon as I saw this, I thought of her, and she knows it will be finished maybe when we're both about 90, but she don't care. So I kind of am doing this for her, and also because it's kind of true. Anyway, so it's a stamped one, obviously, because it's from the Stamped Stitch Club. I've done Pricks Everywhere. 745 stitches. Of course, you have to manually count because I don't have it's not in Pattern Keeper. I think you can. That's where I'm at, just in the top corner. This one's on an 18 count. It's quite decent size. There she is. So yeah, pretty decent size. But you got all the stuff with it, like all of the threads and everything beautifully put out onto thread cards. And yeah, there's some good stamped stitches, stamped kits out there. You know, as much as I sort of like, oh yeah, it's nice buying them off Temu, you do get what you pay for. And Stamped Stitch Club and Watto Biz are exceptionally good. So both of them. I have a Watto Biz, another one, or the one that I've started is here in this pile as well. Right, and that's chuck again. Ready and chuck. Okay, next one. Oh, these are all over the place. Sorry. Right, this one is called Patches 98. It is by, I can't remember. On Etsy. I'm so sorry, I can't remember. Carla and I started this one together. I'm doing it on a random piece of kind of brown, 28 count even weave. Just got a bit of a flaw in it there, but that doesn't matter. It'll probably take me so long to get there that, yeah, this even weave is too fine for me to do full coverage on. So I decided to use it for this. I've done one square at the bottom, which is very cool. Like, we had these great ideas, like, oh, we're going to do one of these a month. No, it was a good idea, but patches. So I managed. Oh no, that's not true. It says 389, but I know it's more than that. because I know there's more than that in each one of these. So I obviously didn't update that spreadsheet. So yeah, that's where I'm at. So I obviously started bottom, is that right? Yes, right, bottom right, that's where I started. So I've done that little square there. That one's a fun one because it's kind of like mini finishes. When you get a finish, you're like, oh, I've done a square, I've got a finish. Not quite a finish, but it feels like a finish. It's like a staged finish, that one. Okay, I'm going to chuck. Oh, that one's not closing. All right, seeing I've got no particular order, let's just try and stop this pile from falling down. Right, this one is called Transitions. Transitions, where are we? STO, transitions. Transitions is a, sorry, do you want me to say it one more time? I'm sure you know the name of it by now. It's Heaven and Earth. I think I originally bought it as a supersize max color and then decided that, like, no matter how much I want to live to 293 years old, I probably won't. So went just for the standard one, downsized. This one is still 575 by 575. I am doing it on a 25 count, I think. I don't know, it's hard to tell. That's where I'm at. I did 615 stitches. In 2025. I even remember exactly the day that I did those 615 stitches, and I haven't picked it up since. So obviously top left, I should pick that one up. So pretty. Transitions need some work. They all need some work. Everything needs some work. Right, ready and work. Next one. Okay, this one I also started during Hade Mania. It's one of my very early Heaven and Earth Designs charts. It's called Tournée du Chat Noir. He's so cute. The majority of this is black stitches. Once you finish the black, you've finished about 40% of the whole thing. Then when you finish the red, I think you finished about 65% of the whole thing. So I'm doing this, well, attempting to do this extreme cross country. I haven't done very much. I've done 320 stitches. So that's about where I'm at. I started with the black. So yeah, I'm doing it on a 28 count, kind of beigey coloured even weave Lagana. So yeah, that one's there. I started centre, obviously. It's a bit hard to see, but that little curve bit is the curve. There's an S there. That's the curve of the S. Yeah. All right. Oh, it's by Leslie Ann Ivory, because she's the lady with the cats. So I have a few of hers, quite a few of hers. All right. Oh, the problem is I'm chucking them. Now I've got to remember which ones I've chucked and shown you and which ones I haven't shown you yet. I've got to do this a bit more systematically. All right. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish that pile over there. Then I'll start on the one nearest me. Let's bring these over here. And the pile just fell down, so I was like, never mind. All right, next one. This is a Nora Corbett, Partridge in a Pear Tree. I can't get my thing open because the zipper's a bit stuck. I'm pretty sure I've showed you this one before. Where is the original? Oh, I haven't got the actual original pattern. I've only got my working copy in here. That's a bit sad. I thought I had my original pattern in here, but maybe not. Okay, I'll have to edit. Put a picture of what this one's going to look like up there. I've actually got quite a long way on it. Partridge, considering I'm not really stitching much Nora Corbett. Partridge, got 0 stitches in 2025. However, it is almost finished. Bar the beads. Obviously, there's a lot of beads that go on. This is the one with the 12 Days of Christmas where I have a massive piece of linen and my intention is to do all 12 of them on one piece because I'm living until I'm 293 years old. There we go. So, question, and God, I keep repeating myself. I'm sure I've asked this before. Do I do the beads? Do I not do the beads and do the next one? I'm feeling I might do the beads because otherwise I might never do the beads. So, and then if I've done them, then if I do kind of go, I'm never going to do all 12 of these, it means I can then like remove it and it's a finished product. There you go. You see, I've reasoned that all out beautifully to myself. And it'll probably go back up onto the cupboard and not get touched for another 12 months. I'm so predictable. Let's chuck that one over there. Okay, next one. Oh, this one. This is a fun one. So this is a, oh, yeah, I haven't got a picture of it. I have to put the picture up here. It's a stitch along by Stitch Rovia from about 2017, and it was for Mind, a better health, mental health charity in the UK. It's called Quotes to Live By. I've started this 3 times now. The first time I remember it was on a piece of linen that I hated. I think that was the first time. I still have that piece of linen in there and I still hate it. And then the second time was on another piece of even weave and there just wasn't going to be enough border. There was like, and look, I don't mind a narrow border, but I think this one was going to be like that big. I was like, yeah, I'm not sure about that. So I've now started a 3rd time on a piece of bog standard 14 count Aida. And I'm much happier because it's easy to stitch. I know it's going to fit. So I'm much happier. 3rd time lucky. So that's where I'm at. Quotes to Live By got 214 stitches, which is all of that because I restarted. I'm determined to get it done. Like, you can't start a project 3 times and not actually get it done. 2017 it was, yep. So it's only 9 years. 9 years. What's 9 years? Right, the next one is the Quaker Australian Aboriginal flag by Vivsters. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. I'm sure lots of you have seen all the flags. There's plenty of them around. I am doing this on it's about a 40 count. I'm pretty sure it's a 40 count. I started center. Where is it? There. Where is it? Quaker OPQ QR. Oh no, it's going to be under Aboriginal flag, isn't it? There we are. So I got 220 stitches last year. I'm working my way across because I'm scared I'm not going to have enough fabric. So I started center, worked my way up, and now I'm just kind of progressively working across until I get to the side, just to reassure myself that I've got enough. So that's where I'm at. But yeah, it's a 2/1, no, 2/2 on maybe it's a 36. I don't think it's a 40, I think it's a 36. So there we go. It's quite a stiff piece of linen. But yeah, I'll feel a lot more reassured when I've worked my way over. How many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4 from the center. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's only one more to go. I reckon I'll be fine. Yeah, I think I'll be good. So that's that. So that got some love, a little bit of love, a little bit of love. All right, next one. This one is from the Mirabilia Retreat in 2018. It's called the Australian Dragonfly. I'll have to put a picture up here because I don't have an actual finished picture of it. I did actually do some work on this. I remember because I remember picking it up and thinking, oh, this is nearly finished. I did 90 whole stitches. It's not nearly finished. Well, it's actually not far off. It needs a lot of beads. That's where I'm at. 2018, I've done that bit. It's got lots of metallics, silks, and then it just needs some beading in there. So it's very pretty. I think I keep marking that one every year saying this is going to be finished this year. Yay! And then it's not. And then I do the same the following year, and then it's not. So maybe if I don't say that it's going to be a finish, I've got more chance of finishing it. What do you think? All right, and chuck. Right, this one, this is from a series of 4 by, I can't remember, on Etsy. It's called Spring Tree. There's 4 of them, obviously. There's an autumn tree, summer tree, and winter tree. I think they're all really pretty. I remember starting this one. I bought some tea towels of linen tea towels, which I was like, oh, there's a needle in there as well. Should take that out and drop it on the floor. That was really silly. Oh, we'll worry about that later. Anyway, I bought these linen tea towels and I thought actually they would probably work perfectly for me to stitch these on the tea towels. The big problem is, and I've only done about 200 stitches, and yeah, they'll look good, but it's not even weave, which means it's kind of elongated. That's the big problem when you don't use like proper stitching linen, is your squares don't end up as squares, they end up as rectangles. So do I persevere? Not sure. I mean, it's nice because they're beautifully edged, so I have, and I can fit 1, 2, and then I've got another tea towel, 3, 4, so they all look the same, but it's not an even weave, which means my squares are kind of not square. I'm wondering if I do a restart and it might make me love it more, because I'm sure I'm not the only one. If you don't love your fabric, you just won't do the project. So, yeah, I'm thinking about that one. Maybe if it comes up somewhere. And now I'm really worried about that needle that I've dropped. Meh, can't find it now. Oh, yeah, I can. Ha ha, there it is. Let's put that on my magnet stick. There it is. Right, next one. All right, now this one is The Travelling Library by Amy Stewart. Love this one. I have only made a very small start on it. Have I even got it on here? I should do. No, I haven't. I haven't even got it on my list. And you know why? Because I started it really late in the year and I didn't even, this goes to show I didn't update my spreadsheet. Oh, that means I've got an extra WIP. So the number I gave you, there's actually more on there. Anyway, it's huge, huge, huge. Oh, I'm doing it on a 25 count, even weave magic guide. And we were doing it by colour. So we were sort of doing 100 stitches of a particular colour, and Carla and 2 of my friends, Michelle and Vicky, we were like spinning a wheel each week to get a colour, and that was great, and it lasted about 5 weeks, and then we forgot. So that's as far as I've got. And I can't even tell you how many stitches it is because I haven't got it on my spreadsheet, but as you can tell, it's not a lot and it's a very large project, so that one needs some work, because that is a beautiful piece of fabric and you don't want to waste, oh my nose, you don't want to waste good fabric on a project that you're never going to stitch. So that's The Travelling Library. Oh, this is all becoming a bit chaotic down here. It's like my head. All right, next one. This is Tapestry Cat by Pain Free Crafts. I adore this project. I have had this for a long time, and I started it during Easter Start Fest in 2025 because it needed to be started because it's been so long. I've heard it for so long. Tapestry Cat. It's only got a 200 stitch start. Again, I was on paper. And so I've done a little start like this. It is so much confetti. Look, that's 200 stitches, and look at the amount of threads which are hanging. Oh my goodness, I'm doing it on a 22 count Aida. Yeah, it's full on confetti, this one. Yeah, I wonder what happened there. I bet my cat attacked that. Yeah, lot of confetti. Anyway, so that's Tapestry Cat. 200 start, needs more love. Like pretty much everything. I should get that tattooed maybe somewhere on my body. Need more love. Right, next one. Oh, that's fallen down. Let's grab this one, and then I think I could sort of delineate between what I've thrown down there and what I haven't yet shown you. This one is called Relativity by Escher. It's Heaven and Earth Designs, 400 by 381. Carla and I started this one together. We were on a really good roll where we were doing, was it 100 stitches a week, Carla? I can't remember, but we were on a roll. So I got, where is Relativity? Let's go up to R. I got 2,315 stitches done on this. That's where I'm at. You can't see it, but there is Kryneck in here. I decided I was going to do the Kryneck. Once I started the Kryneck, I started regretting that I decided I was going to do the Kryneck. I don't like the fact that Kryneck is so bulky. When you do an actual cross with it, it's really bulky on a 25 count. But I'm going to persevere with it because I think the Kryneck will look great. Most of my Heaven and Earths that have Kryneck in it, I usually just ditch the Kryneck because I can't be bothered with it. My life, there's not enough time in my 293 years for me to do Kryneck. Relativity. Where do I go from here? Right, this one. I know this one did not get touched once in 2025. This was the 2024 Heaven and Earth Designs Stitch Along. I did incredibly well, but not quite well enough. So I didn't quite finish it. No, I didn't finish it. I got to about 65%, and then I just totally lost interest, as I do. Which is a real pity because check out this baby. Ooh. Oh yeah. Yeah, now I'm doing it 10th stitch, 2/1 10th stitch, free. I was just about to swear. It looks amazing. I'm about 65% on it. Yeah, that really needs to come out. It really needs to get finished. It's even still got my favorite little needle minder, which is filled with swear words, which is my favorite. And it's got a needle there, sitting there waiting. Yeah, so it just didn't get touched at all. It has to come out. Maybe I'll just leave it out. Maybe I'll leave it out. That's a great idea. Because you've seen my 2025 Sal effort, which was a bit of a joke. 2026 Sal, I'm sort of done a bit. I've probably done more on the 2026 Sal than I did on the 2025 Sal in the whole year. So, but this one, I flew on that one. That was still when I was working and I was catching the train. I was actually doing it on the train in the morning for work, before work and after work, which meant I got quite a bit done. But right, this is a really old one. This was a Stioch Stitch Along from about 2017. You'll remember there was no theme here with Stitch Alongs in 2017. It was my year of Stitch Alongs and I didn't finish a single one. You can change this bit down the bottom. So this is all the same. As for me and my house, we shall serve, and then you can pick which you want down the bottom. And I think I've chosen we shall serve tacos. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I have tacos. So that's where I'm at. It's only a little one. It should be finished pretty soon. All I've got to do is the tacos and we're done. Come on, Nancy. This should not take you very long. I haven't touched that since 2017, I don't think. That would be good if I got that one done. Right, next one. What is this one? Oh, right. This one is, where are we? Did we touch St. Ives? No. St. Ives, which I bought in St. Ives in Cornwall at the end of 2013. I know because I was desperately sick and pregnant with my daughter at the time. I still remember the nausea. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. I did none. It's, you know, kit's very simple. Can't even remember which way it goes. That's where I'm at. Haven't done a lot. It's on 14 count. You know, those usual little cute little kits you used to buy when you were in little country villages in the UK, of which I have several. So yes, that's St. Ives. I like St. Ives, except of the memory of the nausea. Just won't ever leave me that. Right, where do I go from here? Right, this one. Okay, this one, I actually picked this one up at the beginning of the year at a charity shop because Carla and I are doing a no-buy 2026. The only rule or exception to the rule is that you can get charity shop bargains, so, or thrift shop bargains. So because, I'm sorry, you cannot leave if there is a cross-stitch bargain in a thrift shop, you can't leave it there. So we've allowed ourselves thrift shop bargains, but we're not allowed to buy like new charts, or freebies are fine, gifts are fine, but we're not allowed to buy any more new charts because both of us have about 5 billion charts already. The biggest difficulty is to not buy more fabric. We've got to try and use stash. Now, we've only got to the end of January, beginning of February. I think we've managed so far. But I have done a bit of thrift shop like hunting. And this one was a kit which was partly done. It's called Tea for Two. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. As you can see, I think it cost, well, it cost $4, but it had a whole lot of little charts in there as well. So as well as a partially finished kit, it also had like about 6 or 7 charts. I've actually put some stitches in already. That's where it's at. If you look closely, which don't, but the lovely lady who donated it to the charity shop has got quite a few of her stitches the wrong way round. I don't care. It is what it is. You can't tell. So I've sort of done this bit down here. I think I've put a couple of 100 stitches in it. I quite enjoy it. Easy win. Easy win, that one. Stitch simple, yes, and it is. It's got no back stitch. Oh no, it's got minimal back stitch. It has got a little bit, but yeah, it's really cute. So that was one of my bargains. And actually, while I'm talking about thrift shop bargains, I'll show you another one which I have here, which was a real coup that I found as we were driving home. I took the kids away to Robe about 3 weeks ago, and I was driving home, stopped in a thrift shop in, I can't remember where, Kingston, I think. And for the bargain price of $4, I found this kit. Thomas Kincaid, the Forest Chapel. Everything's here, including all the threads, and the lovely lady who decided to donate it had given me a blow-up version of the chart as well, and she'd already done this much. I haven't put any stitches on it yet, but I will, because I'd say I'm nearly a quarter of a way there. Check that out. This is my first Thomas Kincaid. I don't think I've ever owned one before. I have yeah. So out of respect for the lady who went to all the trouble to start this and then decided she just couldn't, I'm assuming it was a lady, it might not have been, I should not make assumptions, I'd like to keep it going. So it is now added into my WIP pile. So that was a bargain. Oh, you know those moments you find them and you're just like, oh my God. And it was just tucked away in a corner somewhere in a plastic bag, And I picked it up because I saw the threads and I was like, oh, I wonder what that is. I was like, oh my God. Anyway, right, I haven't actually done anything on that one yet. But. Right, next one is another one of my 2x2s. This is one I'm going to try to get to 20% this year. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. I am not doing it in that colorway, obviously, because that's just black and white. I am probably at 5% already. I am using a Silks For You colored silk. Oh, wait for this. I'm sure I've shown this to you before. On a black 14, maybe 16. I think it's 14 because it's huge. Check that out. Oh my God. Look at the colors. So that's the variegation on it. It just looks so stunning. And the silk is just beautiful to work with. So my goal is to get 20%. As I said, I'm at 5% already. So I've got a long way to go. But it's easy to stitch, obviously, because it's so highly variegated. You have to stitch every single stitch, do each cross, complete each cross as you go. But the colour's beautiful. The silk is stunning to work with. I made a bit of a mess up in our last myth round. I was doing it and then realised as I'm stitching away that I'd have to frog it. So I think it was the other night I sat down to frog the bit that I'd done during myth. Frogged it, stitched it, got it wrong again, frogged it again, unpicked it, frogged it, restitched it, realised I got it wrong a third time, frogged it a third time. By this stage, I nearly threw it out the window. Finally got it right. So yeah, that is going to get progress this year because I am determined to get that one to 20%. So I have a bit of a ways to go on that. Right, next one. This one, Strolling in the Rain. Stitches So Beautiful. So this is my ongoing Stitches So Beautiful project. Both Carla and I are stitching this one. Stitches So Beautiful do a stitch along every month, and I religiously sign up to it, even if I don't particularly like the chart that they're handing out as a freebie at the end of the month, because it makes me do 250 stitches a week on it. And because of that, I am probably at 14,000 stitches on this baby. I'm doing it on 22 count linen. Looks amazing. Oh, where am I? Let's do this. There we go. That's where I'm at. Now, what I've done, oh God, it looks so good. I'm starting on the really light color down here because there's a big, it's obviously full coverage, but there's a massive swathe of light. And I loathe stitching light on light. So I thought you just get on with it and do it. Do a bit, then go and do some nice color, get some of the ninja stitches, do a bit more, go and do a bit more color. But, oh God, that looks so good. Yeah, 22 count, 1/1. Looks awesome. There we go. I think that's, although saying that, I don't think I've got a page finish on it yet. 14,000 stitches and I have no page finish. That is probably my, I was going to say that's my furthest along full coverage, but it's not. My 2024 Hade Sale is much further along than that. But that is moving on. In fact, I need to leave that out because I need to stitch that tonight because we've got a post for this owl tomorrow. All right, next one. This one is a kit which I started about 3 weeks ago. It's an H, but I pulled it out because it was just there. It's one of my oldest kits. I think I bought it back in about 1997, and it's been sitting there waiting to get started. And when I sent these pictures to Carla, she was like, oh my God, I remember that one from when I was a kid. And so I was like, right, well, we'll get it started. I had to then spend God knows how long sorting out the threads, because you remember those old kits, they didn't sort the threads for you. They were just these massive big chunks of colour. Anyway, I need to stitch the edges on it because the edges are terrible. Oh, it's tiny, look! And that's where I'm at. I made a good start on that. Oh, it's only little. I need to edge my fabric though. So that was quite a bit of progress, and that's mainly because they were half stitches. So yeah, obviously on paper, obviously. In 1997 we PDFs weren't necessarily as big a thing. I couldn't have even imagined doing it on a computer at that time. You know, now we can barely imagine doing it without. So, but then again, and I'm sure many of you feel the same way, 1997 doesn't feel like that long ago. The fact that it's 30. Don't say that. It's nearly 30 years ago. Oh, don't say that. Oh my God. Then I just feel old. It doesn't feel that far. It doesn't feel that long ago. I remember 1997. Oh my God. Let's keep going here. These three have fallen down. Let's grab them before. Oh, all right. I don't even know what this one is. Oh, yes. Unconventional cross. Royal Lobster Hunt. I love this one. I have done hardly anything on it. It's just so quirky. I love it. I don't think Royal Lobster Hunt got anything in 2025. Where are we? RS. 334 stitches on Royal Lobster Hunt. I'm also doing it on my favourite 22 count linen, the same linen as I'm doing Strolling in the Rain. I think I started something else on this linen and it's in the bottom corner. And I just haven't bothered frogging it yet because I know it's going to take me a long time to get down there. Right, that's where I'm at. I haven't done very much. No, it's that way. I was going to say, that's an odd size. Me starting in the left corner, but I didn't. I started in the right corner. I just holding it the wrong way around. Total of 520 stitches so far. It's not very many and it needs more. Okay, so that's Royal Lobster Hunt. Artwork, in case you're wondering, is by Omar Rayyan. And yeah, it's an unconventional cross. In case you want to have another look with the little lobster. Oh, so cute. Alright, that's Royal Lobster Hunt. Let's fling that one over there. What is this one? Oh, this is another one that needs some work this year because we've got a bit of a challenge to get this one to 10,000 stitches. Me and Carla and Vicky and Michelle. I am not even close. Tranquility, Heaven and Earth Designs, 375 by 669. Tranquility, where am I at with that? Oh God, I haven't even got to 1,000 stitches yet. Which way does it go? Oh, where's my top? Is it that way? There's the top. Yes, so it's that way. That's where I'm at. Started center. It's not even 1,000 stitches. Well, according to that, it's not. Looks like more. Maybe it is. Maybe it's more than 1,000. It's just I've not updated my spreadsheet. All I know is I've got a lot more work to do if I'm going to make 10,000 by this year. I think I might leave her out as well. She can go over there with Strolling in the Rain, I think. Let's move her over there. Okay, this one is called Tansy Stitches Trio. It's a Jane Greenough from her special counted collection, which means it's got lots of different stitches in it. So there's an etui where you keep all your stuff and all your little scissor fobs. I used to love these things, love them. Now I'm like, oh, but that means I actually have to like finish it off properly. I want to finish it off. I just want to stitch. Anyway, I've done that on the scissor thing. And then I've done this at the top of the etui. It's nice colours. Again, like all Jane Greenough kits. It's got everything with it. It's on a piece of linen. So, yeah. Yeah, it's a pity because, as I said, the actual FFOing is what puts me off. And also, I don't necessarily use stitching things. like that anymore. I think I did. I think there was a stage where I you know, when I was going to my local embroiderers guild, and it was like everybody would be like, oh, let's have a look at your little scissor fobs and stuff like that. So you got all enthusiastic about doing them. Now, well, I don't go to the embroiderers guild anymore, and so now I don't really care. So, all right, let me, while we're on printed kits, this is one of my Watto Biz kits that I got last year. Lucky I got them last year because it's no buy year this year. Now, I adore this one because I love horses, as we all know. Okay, I've called it Smoky Horse. It actually doesn't have a name, but I've called it Smoky Horse. I started it, I can't remember, earlier this year. Haven't done very much. That's all I've done. It's on an 18 count, beautifully printed, beautifully printed. It's very small. I do require a magnifier in order to be able to see the symbols on the print, but the symbols are spot on. So highly recommend Watto Biz, highly recommend them. You get this much extra, so you've got plenty of room. Yeah, it's stiff because it's a stamped cross stitch. So your Ada is going to be stiff and you cannot wash it because otherwise you'll wash out everything. But you get so much stuff with it, like so much thread. All sorts of extra little goodies. You get the chart as well in case something happens and whatever, like water lands on it, you can still finish it off. It's 50 by 50 centimeters, 18 count, 130 colors. So I love that one. It's a big piece of fabric, so it's slightly unwieldy to work with. I actually found it easier to just hold it in hand rather than try and put it in a frame or anything like that. So I just kind of rolled it up because it's pretty stiff. But yeah, it's beautiful. I just love it. If you want to try a stamped kit, I would recommend, actually, and Watto Biz are not that expensive either. So I'd recommend either Watto Biz or Stamp Stitch Club. As I mentioned last time, the Temu ones, yeah, they're great, but the stamping is questionable. And what you get with these is just amazing. Support them, support them. All right, next one. I barely touched this one. It's huge. It's Super Size Sweet Shop Max Color by Amy Stewart. I'm doing this on a piece of 28 count, massive piece of 28 count, which I bought from AliExpress. I'm pretty sure I started center. Yes, I did. Right. Did Sweet Shop get any love? Yeah, 220 stitches. That's where I'm at. Considering it's probably got, I don't know, 700,000 stitches or something, and I've done a total of 878. I think I've got quite a long way to go with this one. It's not as big as Jade, the unicorn, but it's pretty big. So that's that one. Probably, again, I ought to get them all out. That's what I ought to do. Ought to do lots of things. Will do probably not much. All right, next lot. Let's get this part. Oh, here's an interesting one. I pulled this one out and added it to my, can't even work out how to open it, WIP pile because it is almost done. Now, this was a kit that I bought at the Royal School of Needlework when I went over there. It's black work and it is practicing doing shading with black work. Now, I think have I showed you my black work ballerina, which is not finished, which I started for my Royal School of Needlework course. So I probably should finish this off at least. Is there a picture? It's not really a picture because it doesn't really need to be a picture on this one. No, there's not. So, but yeah, it's a practice piece using different thicknesses of thread and different patterns. And it's good to kind of get yourself into the mindset of dark shading and light, etc. So yeah, so I pulled it out. I haven't actually touched it since I was doing my RSN course, which is quite a while ago now. I think oh God, that was before I separated from my husband, and I've been separated for 5 years. So it's a long time ago. All right. So next one, this is another sampler. I had a whole series of these. I'm still contemplating whether I'm going to sell them or do them. I still don't know yet. I think I've got about 10 of them. This is the Around the World excursions from Amy Mitten Designs. So I started number 1, which is the Scottish sampler. The big problem, and I'm sure I told you this last time, is you're supposed to put like your initials and then your husband's initials and then your whole family's initials, and oh, that's so lovely. I don't have a husband. My family is so damn small that actually there's not enough initials to go on there. So not sure. I'm going to put my best friend's initials on there. I'll probably put Carla's initials on there because she's one of my best friends as well. I'll just randomly pick initials because there's all these spots for initials for all the children and the uncles and I don't have any. I don't have any. I've got a mum and I've got a dad. I've got me and I've got my 2 kids, and that's it. There is nobody else in my family. So yeah, so that stumped me a little bit when I was trying to work out what I was going to put on there, and I still don't quite know, but where I've started, it's on a very stiff piece of about 36 count linen. EW, that's my mum. This is going to be an N, which is going to be me. Below that, I was going to put a CW, which is my late brother, who passed away in 2013. And then what did I write down here? I've got my son, yeah, and Beth, my best friend. I don't know. Maybe I just pick some random letters and put them in, and when people say, "Who is that?" I'll go, "I don't know." These things were all designed when people had big families. I don't have a big family. I don't have any family. I've got hardly any. Anyway, that got no love at all in 2025 because you know me and samplers. But it's kind of cute. It's kind of cute one. What do I do? Do I keep them all? Do I sell them? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, I haven't sold them yet. I've still got 10 of them. So, right, next one. Oh, this is another one of these, a bit like the St Ives one. This one is from Cornish Stitch Designs. This is St Michael's Mount in Cornwall. That's another one I'm pretty sure I bought at the same time as I bought St Ives when we were down in Cornwall, just before my daughter was born. I have done, how much did I do on this year? St Michael's Mount, where are we? 130 stitches. I am currently, it's only small, working on the ocean at the bottom. Pretty simple stuff. So, yeah, all right, that's that. Oh, the pile is going down. We're well over an hour, so we are getting there. Let me just pick up the next lot. Hold on. All right, next one. This is another unconventional cross. This is She Had Flowers in Her Hair by Adrian Border. I don't think she got very much this year. She got 0 in 2025. Poor thing. I started center top. That's where I'm at. She needs love. It is UXS February, so maybe I should leave her out. She's not very big. Oh my God, she's really not very big. Wow. Do I trust myself? Do I trust myself that I measured this properly? 301 by 400 stitches, and that's on a 28 count. I might leave her out and just remeasure. Like, you know, I would have measured, surely. I would have. I wouldn't have. Just not trusting myself right now. That seems awfully small. Yeah, right. So we'll just leave her out because I just want to reassure myself yet again that I've got enough fabric there and I'm not madly stitching and then suddenly discover I'm about that much fabric short at the bottom. Next one, another 2x2. Okay, this is another one I'm doing with Carla and Michelle and Vicky. We got, every time we go on retreat, we get all sorts of random skeins of silk from Silks For You, just because I have loads. So this one, oh, I haven't got a print out of it. I have to find a picture and put it up here if I can. Where I'm doing it in a whole lot of random, they're not exactly random skeins of silk. I've decided I'm going to do mine in a whole lot of purples and blues. There we go, of silks. So there's Silks For You, there's some Cascade House in there. There's a few other bits and pieces, but yeah, oh, there we are. And they're all falling down. So yeah, so they're all kind of blues and purples, and there's some more in there. And I think, oh, I'm just dropping a few more. Here we are. So this is another one that I want to get to 20% this year. I think I better get a wriggle on because that's where I'm at so far. I haven't got a lot on the edge. It's a 16 count Ada. I wonder why I did it that way. Anyway, I'm sure I've measured it. I'm just not trusting myself right now. So, okay, never mind. Hokey cokey. So that's that one. This is going to be about an hour and a half. The next one should be shorter. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. All right, this is another 2x2 that I also don't have a picture of. Put it up here. It's another one that I'm doing with Vic, Carla, and Michelle. Another one I'm using Silks For You silks, which we also bought at the retreat. Oh, our no buy 2026 retreat is like, you know, that doesn't count. You can't go to retreat and not buy anything. So retreat is different. The retreat is different. This is where I'm at. I'm using it's this beautiful yellow silk, and I'm doing it on a 18 count black. So pretty. Maybe I'll get that one out. Maybe I'll go for that one for 20%. Who knows? I don't know. Right, that's that one. Because we have a challenge that we're going to do one of these, this one or that one, which the one I just showed you, which we're doing together. We're going to try and get that to 20% by the time we see each other at the next retreat in July. Easy. Easy. Right, next one, Carolyn Manning Designs. This is Snapdragon, another one of her Shooting Star collection. Now, the other thing Carla and I said is we're going to, if we can get Carolyn Manning's, if we get to 50%, we can add another Carolyn Manning chart to our cart. If we finish, we can buy our cart. I can't remember, something like that. So this is not one I'm going to get to 50% because I've only just started. But Arctic Blast, I will get to 50%. I'm determined. Right, this one, we bought this piece of sort of brownish 14 count Ada for almost nothing at retreat, and we both started and it actually looks really good. Who would think that sort of this coffee colored Ada would look any good, but it does. So that's as far as I've got. I haven't really got very far on that one. I could tell you how far I've done. Snapdragon, 429 stitches, and they were all done when we were at retreat. Okie dokie, so that's that one. Next one, moving on to more black work. This is Save the Stitches by Elizabeth Armand. This is a very famous free chart, which you can still buy the chart. I haven't got a picture of the whole thing. I'll try and put it up here. I think I have got a picture somewhere on my computer of it. I've only just started. That's as far as I've got so far. I did put some stitches in. Save the Stitches has got, it got 150 stitches. And I count those as like 2 back stitch equals 1 stitch. So that's as far as I've got. It's a big project, so long way to go, but it does look pretty. I'm doing it like it has gold highlights through it. So I'm going to do it like the first row is red highlights and then orange highlights and yellow highlights and like a rainbow, like a pretty rainbow. That was my plan. I did actually start that a very long time ago. And it's been sitting in my WIP pile ever since. All right, next one. This one's by Cross Stitch Collectibles. It's called Sunday Afternoon in the Park. It is a famous painting by Seurat. Or Seurat. Probably, well, I think he's French, so you wouldn't pronounce the T. I'm doing this on a very odd piece of very soft, about 18 count sort of Aida. I'm doing it by colour completion. It's only small. That's where I'm at. It's a bit hard to see because it's very creased. I have not touched this in 2025. But I should, because it's only little. So, yeah, that's one of my early ones. When I first started full coverage, it was all about the reproduction artworks. Everything was reproduction artworks. And then I discovered all the other delights that you could get. Okay, next one. This is a Carolyn Manning. This was a stitch along from probably 2017, I'd say, because that's when they all were. It's called Seasons Change. That's what the entire thing will look like when it's finished. I've started with spring. I'm doing it all on one piece of, what's this Aida called? Like oatmeal? I don't know what it's called, but it's there. It's not going to be huge. It's one of the Carolyn Manning fiddlies, so lots and lots of color changes. So the spring one is the one that's probably the least visible, but yeah, so it's only going to be small. Yeah. Seasons Change did get some love this year. Quite a bit of love, I think. Well, quite a bit. Let's have a look. Seasons Change. Yeah, got 247 stitches. So that is quite a bit of love in 2025. All right, next one. Silhouette Heart. This was a freebie from Charting Creations. That is sort of what it's going to look like when it's done. I'm doing it in the Stitches and Spice Silks, of which I have lots. I'm doing it on a piece of apricot coloured linen, which is hard. You can't really do much on apricot. That's where I'm at. I don't know which way up. Maybe it's that way. Who knows? Yeah, cool. That's an easy one to do because it's like a single strand. This is my silk. You just use a single strand. It's slightly variegated. It's sort of quite slippery, but you only need one. You don't need two. I'm doing it 2/1. Yeah. So did not get touched in 2025. I don't even need to check. I know for a fact it did not get touched. Have I even done that pile? Oh my God, this is going to go on longer than I thought. Okay, next one is a freebie from Barbara Anna Designs. It's called Stay Warm. I started this one in 2025. No, I didn't. I started in 2024. It's got a total of 5. So far, I've done a total of 513 stitches. It got 100 stitches in 2025. I'm doing this on a little piece of. Oh, stop! Tiny. Oh, hello. Upside down. There we go. Upside down and back to front. There we go. That's where I am. Little piece of dyed linen, I think, which I picked up at the guild. Like somebody had been practicing dyeing. I think I've got about 4 pieces, which is great because I have like 4 or 5 of these Barbara Anna freebies, so I'm going to do one on each one. Of course I am. Of course I am. I love the plans. Love them. Right. Oh boy, oh boy, this is going on. Right, this is it. This is the rest of the ones that I'm going to show you today, and then we'll leave the rest for next time, because otherwise, oh God, if I had these all on my lap, it's just going to be a disaster. All right, let's start with this one. What is it? Oh, this one. Yeah, so this is a kit from Jane Greenoff. It was a retreat I went to many, many, many years ago to make this box. I actually made the box, didn't finish the stitching. God knows what's happened to the box in the move from the UK to here. It's just vanished, and who cares? I ought to finish the stitching because I'm quite a long way. There's the top. See, that's cute. That'll be the scissor keep. That'll be the little scissor fob or pin cushion. I don't know. So all I have to do is the band around the outside, of which I've done that, and then kind of put it all together, and it would be done. I don't quite know what I'm going to do. I'm not making another box. I remember making the box, it was a pain in the neck. So maybe I'll just find a box and just put it around another box. So yeah, threads of the past. That did not get, oh, I don't think it got touched. Let's just, sorry, I'm just deleting stuff here. Don't do that. There we are. Where were we? Boop. Threads T, threads of the past. No, didn't get touched. See, I've even got some of the silk left. You can see I went to all that trouble and I made the box and I cut all the bits and I sewed it all up. I think I was a lot more enthusiastic back then. This was when I had like small babies and they used to go to sleep. Right, next one is a Maya kit. This one I started at Retreat in 2024. It's called When I Say Go. You can sort of see what that's going to look like. Sorry. It's actually kind of long and thin. Most of this is half stitch. Like the two kids are full cross stitch in the front and the foreground, but the background is all half stitch. It's on a navy blue 18 count, and I've done quite a bit of the, well, quite a bit. No, I haven't. I've done a little bit of the half stitch. So it's really hard because you have to manually count because it's a kit. Obviously, it's an anchor. It's all anchor threads in that kit, as most Maya kits are. So did it get any work on in 2025 when I say go? Yes, it got 200 stitches, so that would be probably 400 half stitches. All right, next one. This is a Valentine's freebie from 2024. I wonder whether she's going to do a Valentine's freebie this year. It's called Venus. Love it. It does have a little bit of Krynic in it. I think I will do the Krynic on this one. Venus got 966 stitches in 2025. Oh, whoa. For 1,591 stitches in total. That's where we're at. I think there's a few little holes in there because it's waiting for Krynic to go in. I'm doing it on a 25 count linen. Like it, like it. Obviously center start, 400 by 385, that one. Like that very much. All right, next one. Okay, this one is the video game sampler from 2021. It was a fundraiser in 2021. That's what it's going to look like when it's finished. Makes me laugh. I'm just using like stash threads for it. Video game sampler got 453 stitches this year. And that is where I'm at with it. It's looking good. I'm doing it on an 18 count black Ada. Very effective. All right. It's by Screaming Heart Design, that one. It was a free one. Oh, you just gave a donation to a charity and they gave you the chart for it. All right, next one. This one needs to come out because it is UXS February. This was a UXS, so unconventional cross. It was a freebie. It is no longer free. Called Unicorns and Roses. Love it. I'm doing it on a burgundy 25 count Lagana. Unicorns and Roses got nothing in 2025. That is where I'm at. So good. I'm leaving that out because it needs some work this month. Actually, all my unconventional crosses need work. So that is staying out. Right, next one. While we're in U's and V's, this is Unicorn Mystique. It's a kit. Oh, my phone's running out of charge. There we go. It's telling me I need to shut up and get on with it. There we go. Unicorn Mystique is a kit by Sunset. It's on the kit fabric, which is an 18 count navy blue. I'm there. Unicorn Mystique got 100 stitches in 2025. Okay. Alright. That one up, put that one away. And that one, right, next one. Unorthodox 3. Oh, it's another Heaven and Earth. Artwork by Steve Hunziker. She's huge, 700 by 700. I started her in 2025, did 2,412 stitches on her. And this is where I am at here. Center start. That's a 28 count even weave, I think, Lagana. There we go. And that's 1/1 full cross. Okay, that was that one. Next one is, chuck it down there. This one is Turquoise and Teal by Carolyn Manning. This is an early Carolyn Manning for me. Turquoise and Teal got 120 stitches done in 2025. I'm currently sitting at 2,227 stitches. This is one I would like to try and get to 50%. Can't remember which way up it goes. I have got it written. Usually I keep there we go. I'm pretty sure it'll go, no, that way. Yeah, that's it. And there we are. So that's where I'm at. 14 count, basic Ada. And that is that one. I'm gonna try and put some work into that one this year. Love teal is my favorite color. Teal and purple. Right, this one, Stitch is So Beautiful, was the first Stitch is So Beautiful I ever bought. It's by Eda Rosa, Woman in a Field of Flowers. We all know and love this one. I did a bottom left start. Woman in a Field got 853 stitches this year. I'm sitting at a total of 3,950 stitches on that one. I'm doing it on a 25 count easy guide. There we go. See, if I did that one for the sale, then it would get moved on. But I'm so like on a roll with doing, well, we're so on a roll with doing stitching in the rain, strolling in the rain, that while I'm on a roll, let's go with it. Right, this is another Jane Greenough. It's yet another one of her special counted collections. So there's some hardanger in there, and you make this hussy. I have not done very much. What do we call it? Special watercolor. I can't remember what it's called. No idea. That's where I'm at. I actually haven't done very much at all. And then I've got to do the hardanger, which I don't mind. I don't mind hardanger. I just haven't done it for absolutely ages. So I'm sure once I get back into the sort of swing of doing hardanger, it'll be fine. I used to really like it. So, okay, 2 more. It's all right. We're mercifully nearly at the end. Oh my God, an hour and a half. Right, this is the Weaver's Tapestry Stitch Along from 2017. What a surprise. I did 100 stitches in 2025. It's fairly long. I'm doing it on a 22 count Aida. I've got the top, you can see how wide it is, and I've actually started on the dragon. I'm not sure I can show you a completed picture. I may have one. If I'm pointing at nothing, it means I don't have a picture. So I'm doing it in, I'm using this anchor for the bits in the middle, not all of them. And then I'm using, I can't remember what color that is. Here we are. It is 924 for kind of around the outside, and I think I was going to use the variegated for all the animals because there's quite a lot of animals, and then just the block color for everything else. And finally, oh, this is one that every year I keep saying I'm going to make a finish this year. This is the Wildflower Woodland Quaker Stitch Along from Tempting Tangles from, take a guess, 2017, correct. This is where I'm at. I don't think this got very much love. It got 220 stitches in 2025. Yeah, look, it is. It's 3/4 finished. It is, but it's just, you can't see. There, that's better. Now that hides my creases. There you go. So, you know, should finish it. It gets rid of a WIP, gives me room for another one. Not that I really need room for another one because I'll just add another one in anyway. Right, that'll do. That's an hour and a half of more WIPs. I now have a big pile that I've got to tidy up here. There will be one final installment of my WIP Parade, and by then I'm sure you'll be sick to death of seeing all of my WIPs, and I probably will have started at least another 5 by then. One thing I did want to show you before I go, I have a finish. Thank you, Myth. This is one of Michelle's filet patterns. Remember I told you about that last time? You can still use the code Nancy20 to get 20% off at Mitch's Stitches UK on Etsy. That is what the first one looked like. It was such a fun stitch. I used a variegated random bit of cotton or broder, which I had in my stash. I've still got half a skein left. Really fun stitch. So there you go. I have my first finish of 2020. What are we? 2026? Hey, there we go. Okay, on that happy note, I'm going to love you and leave you, and I will see you all next time when I do part 4. Okay, happy stitching, and we'll see you soon. Bye.